This thing is perfect if you need a lab-grade scale that actually stays accurate without driving you crazy. But let me explain why. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've used cheap pocket scales for years, and they drift after a few months, sometimes even after a single spill. This Ohaus PX84/E has been sitting on my bench for 6 months, and it still reads 0.0000 G every time I zero it. That kind of repeatability is what separates a toy from a tool. I weigh out 0.5 G of caffeine powder for my pre-workout blends, and the reading stays locked in even when I bump the table. No more reweighing and no more wasted ingredients. The Draftshield is the real hero here. I work in a room with a ceiling fan that's always on, and most scales give me jittery numbers. The 3-sided acrylic shield knocks that fan noise down to almost nothing. I can finally measure out 10 milligrams of flavorings without squinting at a wobbling display. The shield also snaps on and off in one motion, so swapping samples is quick, no fumbling with loose panels. Accuracy is only half the battle, you also need the right capacity. At 84 G with 0.0001 G resolution, this scale covers everything from tiny essential oils to a full gram of citric acid without switching devices. I've used it to dose both 0.02 G of stevia and 50 G of dextrose in the same day, and it handled both without blinking. Power is another pain point I'd had with other scales. They either need constant battery changes or a wall wart that's always in the way. The PX84/E runs on a single 9V battery that lasts about 6 months of daily use, or you can plug it in with the included AC adapter. I keep it plugged in most of the time, but when I move it to a temporary setup, the battery option is a lifesaver. Construction feels like it's built to survive a lab explosion. The stainless steel pan is scratch resistant, and the metal housing doesn't flex when I tighten the leveling feet. Even the power switch has a positive click, no accidental toggles while I'm wearing gloves. It's the kind of build quality that makes you trust the numbers instead of second-guessing them. Units are straightforward: grams, carats, ounces, grains, whatever you need is one button press away. I mostly use grams, but when I'm helping a friend with jewelry projects, switching to carats takes half a second. The backlit LCD is bright enough to read under bright LEDs, and the digits are large and crisp, so I don't need reading glasses at arm's length. One small quirk: the leveling bubble is on the back, so you have to tilt the whole scale to center it. It's not a deal breaker, but it's an extra step compared to front-mounted bubbles. Also, the Draftshield panels are clear, which is great for visibility, but fingerprints show up constantly, so I keep a microfiber cloth nearby. Link is in the description if you need the exact specs or current price. So, if you're mixing small batches, doing analytical work, or just tired of scales that drift after a week, this Ohaus PX84/E is the one that actually holds up. I've put it through the ringer, and it hasn't let me down yet. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Ohaus PX84/E Pioneer Analytical Balance, 84GX 0.0001G, external calibration with Draftshield sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like units and display actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. What stands out about Ohaus PX84/E Pioneer Analytical Balance, 84GX 0.0001G, external calibration with Draftshield is how it seems positioned for buyers who want something practical, easy to understand, and worthwhile beyond the first impression. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Ohaus PX84/E Pioneer Analytical Balance, 84GX 0.0001G, external calibration with Draftshield usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.